Speaking of future, stock futures down this morning. And this comes after a turbulent 3 sessions on Wall Street. The market has been volatile. You know that because of the coronavirus. The pandemic is decreasing the demand for oil, which is leading to an oversupply. The other thing investors will be keeping a very close eye on today. We have new unemployment numbers that are expected to be released this morning, revealing even more job losses in April. Yes, even more. Team 12's Jen Wahl joins us live now from downtown Gilbert, where a lot of small businesses hit hard by the coronavirus outbreak. Jen, what's the latest?
Yeah, good morning to you, Emma. So here on a typical Thursday night, hey, even a Thursday morning for breakfast and brunch, downtown Gilbert would just be super busy, packed with families and friends, going on date nights, happy hours, all kinds of things. But weeks into the shutdown here, we know it is going to be quiet once again. And while it's encouraging to see a lot of businesses getting creative to make it through this, restaurants trying some new takeout order options, a lot of workers still had to be laid off. Nationally, another 4.3 million workers are expected to have filed state unemployment claims last week. That would bring the total filings to 26 million since the shutdown started in the second half of last month. And it's all an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus. The number of jobs lost erased nearly all of the more than 22 million jobs recovered since the Great Recession. And during that financial crisis, the number of jobs lost totaled 8.7 million. So here in Arizona, locally, the unemployment rate jumped to 5.5% in March from 4.5% the month before. But that data does not account for the tens of thousands of jobs eliminated in the second half of the month by coronavirus restrictions. That's according to the Arizona Office of Economic Opportunity. Now, the Arizona restaurant industry, we know, among some of the hardest hit here. And at the beginning of April, the Arizona Restaurant Association president said the industry laid off nearly 80% of its workforce. Now, some were able to keep their jobs, restaurants getting creative to stay open, turning into marketplaces, doing those online happy hours, finding ways to get creative and serve food and even alcohol to the public through that to-go type setting. But, it's still been really, really hard for a lot of these businesses. So coming up here this morning, we do expect those unemployment numbers to be released, and we will bring those to you as soon as we get them. For now, we're live from downtown Gilbert. Jen Wahl, Today in AZ.